I might need your help with lighting. Peace, love, and light. If you can hear me and see me, put a number 9 in the chat. If you can hear me and see me, put a number 9 in the chat. Gonna wait for some people to come on in. If you can hear me and see me well, put a number 9 in the chat. I see a couple of people in the chat. Hi, Miss Gloria. Welcome. Shikamo. Frank, welcome. Okay, great. Thank you, Asante. So I don't plan on this being too long. Just have some revelations and announcements, and then I have some things that I need to let you all know to be aware of in Tanzania. Welcome, Miss Gloria Shikamo. Welcome. I hope to see you very, very soon. All right. You got the reply down. I love it. I love it so much. So come on in, you guys. Okay, so I'll let others they can jump on, they can see this like once it's over. When you're coming in, if you guys can just hit the like button, make sure that this information gets out and that it gets into the algorithm. But most importantly, just hit the like button to make sure that this information gets out, and make sure that you also feel free to share. Okay, and comment. So you guys know that I have not been on this platform. I am a different kind of soul. If you don't know, those who had the privilege to really know me and to be in my company know that I'm pretty much a no nonsense type of person, especially, when it comes to my, freedoms and liberation, and just someone trying to control me. I am a sovereign being, and that's it. So when YouTube started their censorship, and they're not alone. There's so many others. IG is doing it like crazy. I was not in for it. I was not going to tolerate it. I was just like, I'm done. I'm done with this. And I know that I invited a few of you guys, all of you guys, over to Rumble, and I know a few of you all have come over to Melanated People, and you all have expressed that you were not able to yet be approved. So the brother who is the CEO of Melanated People app, it's a small staff, and he has a lot on his plate. He has several other things that he does, and so we're all going to have to be patient, with him. But I don't want you guys to miss out on certain messages that I have that's really meant for the masses of my people. And so it's been heavy on my spirit. I've gotten a message that stated that I needed to continue to push my message on all platforms, and until I can't. What I won't do is create any other pages. I just won't. So the day that they decide they want to shut this down, that it'll be forever shut down. I am working on my own, so you all will be able to go over to my website as well. But the Spirit told me that I needed to continue on all the platforms. It is not time for me to shut up my throat chakra on any of the platforms. And so it's been a pushing. It is something that has been on me constantly, and it wouldn't let up. And so I have to be obedient to that. So the teachings and the light codes that I share on other platforms like Melanated People, for those of you all who have yet to be approved, I will also be sharing what I deem necessary on this platform, as well. There needs to be opposition instead of me, Spirit is telling me, not to fold my cards as of yet. And that there needs to be, opposition, because there's always meaning from me. I need to oppose the negative force. And so, because speaking the truth in this, we're in a really tough spot because we're in between two different dimensions. Those who are conscious, you are very much so aware of this. Those who are not, you probably have no idea. But we are stuck between two dimensions right now because the ship has not yet completed itself. And so, with that being said, the truth is still being rejected. It is still being rejected. And so it is to be expected, especially by the beings that control the media. Notice I didn't say human, because they are not. Okay. So I will be doing the teaching about how this government, who really runs the government, that you see in all the lands, what beings are really behind that government, how it's structured, where they're from, what they want. And all of that. That is something that we all need to be aware of. For those of you who are not aware, the beings who do run all of the systems, the beast system in all of the lands, they are not from here. Okay. And so this is the time that we need to know exactly who and what we are dealing with. So that is what was revealed to me. That is what has been just not leaving me alone since I left this platform. And so that's the revelation, that I had. I was told that, I needed to continue on for a period of time, and I will know when I need to just totally shut down my throat chakra on this platform. So now, you guys, you know that I give you the good, bad, and the ugly about all my experiences in all the lands. Okay. And since I have temporarily been back in Tanzania, some behaviors I've encountered some behaviors that I really despise. And I want to say this lately, our good brother, No Limit Eddie, has been really like, speaking the truth, blowing the trumpet of truth as it relates to these low vibrational, scammy, dishonest, behaviors that occur, specifically in Tanzania, because we all went through this whole thing with the school scam, which took thousands upon thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars from several diasporans. And so he was talking about lately about how, he felt like he did not get enough support from other diasporans, and how other diasporans are trying to save face. They're not speaking out and speaking against this type of damaging behavior. It's damaging to us as a people, as a whole. This type of low vibrational behavior negatively affects us all, and it prohibits us from being able to progress and move forward. It's like that bad apple in a bunch. It's going to spoil all the apples. So when you have multiple bad apples, it's going to be very difficult, to keep the rest of the apples, fresh and unaffected. And so that's what happens when you don't say anything. So I totally support the brother, No Limit Eddie. If you're here, I totally support you. You know that. And you know that I have been one who is also about telling the truth, whether people like it or not, because the truth does not require your validation. It doesn't. So, that being said, yes, being on the continent has its perks. It is beautiful. It has its absolutely beautiful moments, um, peaceful moments. It has all of that, but all of those things are also available outside of the continent. I want us to know that it's not unique to the continent, but this is the place that we've decided to make our home. And so we have to be concerned and we have to speak out about things that negatively affect us. And so, aside from the whole school scam thing, I have had money stolen from me. You guys know I did a whole video on that. Over 600,000 was stolen from me. I didn't tell you guys about another encounter that we had, and this is something that you need to be aware of. You cannot let your guard down. Okay. I know when we first get here, we're all enamored and we see our beautiful people everywhere. We're just so excited, because some of us have not had the privilege of growing up and having such a large amount of our people together, in one place. And so I know it's new, it's refreshing. And so you get distracted, but you have got to have your guard up. So my son and I went to the movies some time back, and I forgot which movie we were going to see. So we went to Imlimani City to go to the movies, and so this was it was a 3D movie, and something in my spirit, I'm very spiritually inclined, and something was saying that the praise that I was quoted was not correct. Hi, brother. Peace and love. Peace and love. No Limit Eddie is in the building. Peace and love, brother. Thank you. So when you run it back, you'll be able to see. I was just letting them know that I was totally in support of, your recent post about this scamming, dishonest, lying, scheme, vibrational behavior experience while we're here in Tanzania. And so I was just letting the people know that we have to really have our guard up, and we cannot, allow ourselves to be taken, advantage of, just because we are just, again, so enamored by the newness of it all, and being in the continent for the first time, and seeing our people everywhere. So, to get back to the story. So my son and I went to go see a 3D movie at Imlimani City. And then my spirit was like, something about the price that you were quoted is not right. Spirit just wouldn't leave me alone. And I went out to see the driver, who's a great guy. And I went out to get something from the car before the movie started. And I was letting him know, like, listen, this is how much they're charging us. I said, but I don't feel like it's right. And he was like, it's not right. He's like, this is not how much these tickets cost. And I was like, what? So they were overcharging us by like over 20,000 shillings. They upcharged. So I said, I knew something was wrong. I said, but it's 3D. He said, I know that. And it's still not that price. Like, they're cheating you. So I said, but the young lady, because I asked her, I said, Dada, are you sure that this is the right price? She said, no. I said, okay. So I said, she said, it's because it's Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever. They have different prices for different days. Okay. So the brother who drove me and Josiah there was like, it doesn't matter, even for today. Like, she's overcharging you. So he was like, let me go in there with you. So he went in and he went up to the window and he was talking to her in Kiswahili, and I understood a bit of it. And he was saying, like, the tickets are not this price. And she looked like she saw like She was like a deer in headlights. And so then I said, well, let me get the manager. I want the manager, because at that point I was pissed. And so the manager came as the Indian guy, and then she looked like, it was like she was like light brown and looked like she was getting like really pale. So I knew then that she knew that she was caught. So the Indian guy was like, whenever you want to come here, you can see a free movie. I want to give you your money back. I'm sorry about this. He was like, this behavior is just running rampant here, and then he went on to say, in my country, this is unacceptable, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, listen, you're no better than my brothers and sisters here, because you all do your dirt too. So you can save that part, but, he did give me my money back. And he did, offer us to have, to a free movie the next time. So I'm saying that even at the movies, okay, double check everything that you do, double check. So fast forward to today. I went to go get a P.O. box because, you guys, we're traveling out again here soon. So I went to get a P.O. box because I have one in Arusha, but I needed one here in Dar. And because I have some things that for my business that I need. And when I went and got my P.O. box in Arusha, it was no problem. I got it the same day, and, everything went smoothly. So today, this lady is like, oh, it's going to take over a week. And so I'm like, Kwanini, which means why? And she's like telling the brother that was with me, oh, it's a process. And so it's going to take, over a week. And he was telling her in Kiswahili, this dada has gotten one in Arusha. She didn't have any problems. She got it on the spot. So why can't you like give her a P.O. box like today on the spot? She has everything that's required. So she was like, oh, something Saidia. She was saying that I understood. She was telling him in Kiswahili, oh, that person who helped her in Arusha, that person in Arusha was trying to help her. And so the brother said to her, you likewise, you can also help her. So then she takes my passport, and then she goes into the back. And so I had already had the little slip of paper that shows the fees, and I was already aware of what the fees were. So it was like 50,000 for everything, processing of everything, the first payment, all of that. And then she comes back with the paper, and it has that 50,000 figure shillings. And then to the left, it had 80,000. So I said to the kaka, like, what is this? Like, what is this figure? And he's like, oh, she's saying that if you can pay the 50,000 plus the 80,000, so she can give it to you today. I said, hell, mother, no. Hell no. I said, I will go ahead and wait the week. I'll be here next, maybe, next week to, get it. But I needed it today because I have something really important that I need before I depart. So I said, she's got the wrong one. I wish the hell I would pay her 80,000 shillings to do her goddamn job. This is the type of behavior that you all need to be aware of, okay? This is the type of behavior you all need to be aware of. If I see somebody comment in my comment section about, oh, this happens everywhere, I'm going to delete your comment and block you. That means you are not intellectually, mentally ready, or spiritually mature enough, or just even mature enough to understand, overstand, and understand what I'm talking about and what I mean. I'm not talking about everywhere because I'm not everywhere. And I have not had this experience where I come from, where I last resided, rather. Okay? Because I come from everywhere. Again, I'm light. But in my last residence, I can walk into the post office Let's keep it 1,000. I could walk into the post office and the fees are clearly stated. They're printed. And that is what I pay. And nobody's asking me for anything extra or trying to scam or scheme. It's not what I'm accustomed to. And if it was what the diaspora was accustomed to, we would not be having this type of reaction. We would be ready and we would know. It wouldn't be so upsetting. This is just common sense stuff, okay? And it's not acceptable. I don't care where it's happening. I don't care where it's happening, whether it's on this continent or another one. This type of behavior is unacceptable. So you guys need to be aware. This is the other side that you need to be aware of while you're here having your beautiful experience and enjoying what I hope is your beautiful experience, because it may not be that way for everyone. Everyone has their own experience. So let me see what everybody's saying. Yes, no limit, Eddie. I agree. You still have to be cautious. I say on my channel, the rules of the street still apply. Absolutely. It doesn't matter where you are. And when the Tizzy corruption, yes, corruptional. They be run rampant on the continental. Yeah, they love to discredit people, talking about it happens everywhere. Yes. Peace, Tammy. Welcome. This behavior is going to keep Tanzania and Africa as a whole, Alkebulan as a whole. It is going to continue to keep you in your low estate. I have made several videos outlining how this behavior keeps you in the low estate in which you are. And people just don't want to get it. And unfortunately, the hour is upon us. So we don't have a lot of time. The change and the shift is now. You guys, where I live out of town. And where I live is normally so cool and breezy, even when dark in the inner city is hot. It has been like exceptionally hot. Exceptionally hot. And there is a reason for that. Your GOV tells you that it's global warming, but you don't know what that really means. So they're feeding you a script. There is a reason why things are heating up on this planet. It's going through a cleansing. And our second sun is here. And our solar system, where our ancestors come from, Sirius is aligning with this solar system. That is why things are burning up. Someone just told me in the A in Atlanta, it was like 75 degrees. Now, it normally doesn't stay cold in the A, but also in Baltimore, people had on leggings and little shirts just a couple of days ago. Okay? So the time is upon us. We don't have a lot of time to get our stuff together. We just don't. So either you're going to get it together or you're not, and you're going to be left here because your vibrations are that of this prison planet, this planet. When the new earth is created, you will be left behind. Remember that I told you that. That's just exactly what's going to happen. So I don't have any more. It's like my sympathy has just, I'm so drained, because I help so many people just naturally giving. I try to help. I see the oppression. I can identify with that oppression because we too have experienced oppression perpetually. I know what it feels like to be in a low estate and to be without. Contrary to popular belief, you don't know people's stories. You think we don't suffer in the US? I'm so sick of people also making this the comment of, oh, well, the suffering in the US it's nowhere near the suffering here. I mean, oh, sister, I mean, the disparity is so great. It's bullshucks. It really is. It's a bunch of BS. There are people with barely roofs over their heads, holes in their ceilings. Okay? There are people who don't have heating in their homes, in the dead, in places where it gets severely cold. They don't have hot water. They don't have heat. There are our people that are sleeping on the streets during this time. I think you better go and see. It's not all peaches and cream and rosy. It's not. And they die on those streets in the cold. And in places where it doesn't get cold and it gets severely hot, still imagine you can get a heat stroke. So it's not what you think. There's suffering in both places. There are people who don't even have food to eat in the US. Some children, the only meal that they get is when they go to the school, the miseducation institution. So don't talk to me about somebody suffering here is a lot worse than the suffering, in the US. It's bullshit. It's not true. And let me say this. Most of the sisters and brothers that I've met here, guess what? They own land. Okay? We've been disenfranchised here and there. We've had land taken from our ancestors here, and our land was stolen from our ancestors there. So we've been totally disenfranchised on both continents. A lot of us don't own land. And we come here hoping that we can acquire some land, so that we can build. But most of the sisters and brothers here, they own it. They have land. Here and there, you'll see some sleeping out comfortably, on the street. And I know it's not pleasant, although the environment is peaceful, because you got to watch your back in the US. Okay. So, you sleeping out on the street. So I don't want to hear that either. You have created, the people of Alkebulan, you have created your own reality. You are the one that continues to perpetuate your low estate. I've said it and I mean it, because it is the truth. It is something called universal law, and none of us can escape it. It is the only true law that exists. Those of you who are into the church, it says it in your word that you shall reap what you have sown. What do you think that means? The only thing the universe can return back to you is that of what you have sown. And that's all you're going to get back. When money is your God, you're going to reap the reward of someone who worships money. And it's not going to be good. It's not going to be in your favor. Look at your reality. The people on this continent, not just Tanzania, but the people on this continent, including Tanzania, they worship money. It's just their inner compass, their moral compass it just goes out of the window. For the most part, is behavior that I've seen in land after land after land. It's like a continental mentality. I experienced it in Ghana. And in some lands, it's more so than others. But it's the same. It's like this continental mentality of I'm going to do whatever it takes. I don't care who it hurt. I just want money. And I will lie and I will scheme and I will scam. And that's that. And you would think with all the religion, what is it doing for your soul? It's supposed to change you. You're in church every single day. You're at the mosque. It is supposed to do something to your insides. It's supposed to transform your mind, your heart. And I see none of that. How is it benefiting you? I'm sick of it. You want me to pay you 80,000 shillings for you to do your damn job? Great. I don't think so. And this is why Africa is out of time. Again, the hour is upon us all. Even those in the West, you don't want to get your shit together, you're out of time too. And you're low vibrational behavior. If you hate your brother and you're out here shooting him up and killing him, doing the devil's work, the colonizer's job, then its time is up for you too. There is a cleansing going on here, and nobody is exempt. Not a soul. Not a soul. And I'm sick of it. So that's what you all need to be aware of. Let me go into the comments here and see what the people are saying. Yeah, they love to describe. Okay, got that. Tammy, Britain, when I go to the post office in Texas, it's a set price. We don't deal with that crap. Exactly. We don't. That's us keeping it real. You know, there's a bunch of liars, you guys. And I don't know. I'm sick of this shit. Like, I don't know where the mentality came from that Africa is this infallible continent. I don't know who's pushing that fallacy. Like, it's infallible. Okay? This is not heaven. This land has been exploited too. The people have been exploited. The people have been abused. The people have been oppressed. They have been suppressed. They have been subjugated. This is not the Alkebulan of ages and ages ago. It's not. It's not. But I see people putting this land up on this untouchable pedestal, and you need to bring it down from there. Just like you talk about everything that's wrong with other lands, including America and this and that, which again, if it's the truth, because there's a lot that needs to change there too. And we need to realize that America and the U.S. corporation are two different things. This is why I don't say F America, because that's a sovereign land that belongs to our ancestors. And we need to honor it. Now, the U.S. corporation is different. That's headquartered in the District of Columbia. Those are two different entities, two different things. And we need to know that. So when you say America and the U.S., they are not interchangeable. When you're talking about, the laws in America and the immigration laws and that has nothing to do with the people who were originally there. The indigenous. It has nothing to do with those people. We did not set that beast system. That was not set up by us. We've done works to include you, not exclude you. When we're out there fighting in vain, because the system is just rigged against us, and that's why I say in vain. But because we have been left with this innate sense of who we truly are, this is why we rebel constantly. That's why you rebel. Even if it may be in vain, you're never going to stop rebelling, because there is still, you still recognize your royalty and your sovereignty and your divinity. That's why you rebel. So there's two different things, America and the US. We didn't set that up. Okay. Texas, hold on, there's so many comments. Right. Everybody, thank you. Yes, please hit the like button. Tammy, let's not forget the freeze in Texas. Lord, it was five of us in a bed. That had never happened before. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that was a test, Tammy. That was a test. The darker days and times are coming. You better have your solar stuff ready, those of you all who are in America. You have to be prepared because the dark days are upon you. You've been warned many times. Many times. Can see the dirt in the floor. Tell them facts. Texas 115 in the summer most times. Yes, I used to live in Texas. That's where we lived prior to coming to the continent. I used to live in Houston. So yeah, it is, and it's humid as hell. They would do anything for money. I agree. They bought into the lie that they need money. Exactly. Exactly. The consequences of corruption are high. Absolutely. Eddie, people in Africa don't understand that real riches are in the land. Hello. Hello. They don't understand that are in the land, animals, and family, all of which they already have. I need to read it again. Brother Eddie, No Limit Eddie said, people in Alkebulan, Africa, don't understand that real riches are in the land, the animals, and family, all of which they already have. But they want to trade that for worthless material items. Come on, Brother Eddie. Come on, young man has some wisdom. I hope you guys heard that. Those are sisters and brothers who are on the continent, and particularly in Tanzania and everywhere, who's engaging in this immoral behavior that keeps you stagnant, that keeps you poor, that keeps you behind, that keeps you living from hand to mouth. You already have all that you need. You already have it. You want fiat currency? Because soon this fiat currency is going to be worthless. And then what? You heard me. Soon this fiat currency is going to be worthless. It already is worthless. Hold on. It already is worthless. It's not backed by anything. When the indigenous, our people, our ancestors, when we were the rightful owners of the land, inhabiting and we were still inhabiting the lands of the Americas, we had real money. We had gold, we had silver, we had precious metals, and our money that's what we had. But it was stolen by those that are behind this beast system. So they replace that with worthless paper that they print with this fiat currency that's backed by nothing. It's actually debt. It's debt. They lend you debt and then tell you to pay that shit back. But we don't understand the game. This is what you're selling your soul for. This is what you sell out and do your sister and brother wrong for. Fake monopoly money. Most of us come here with a heart to help. We come here, we want to help you. That's our heart. But you make us close our hearts to you when you do us like this. When you steal our money and you scheme and you scam us. We want you to reciprocate back to us what we give you. The heart and mind that we have towards you. And it is not to scam you. It is not to scheme. There is no reason for it. I don't give a damn how poor you say you are, which again, just like Brother Eddie said, and like I have said, you are not poor. You have made yourself believe in the fantasy that you are poor. You live on one of the richest continents because America also is rich in minerals and gems. but it's plentiful here. Even more here in Alkebulan. You have all that you need. You've got the diamonds. You've got the gold. You've got the silver, the uranium, anything, all of the natural resources. You've got rubber trees everywhere. You have, if you're hungry, you can go and pick food from a tree, fruit from a tree, and satisfy your hunger. Most of us in America, we live in what's called food deserts. And so those of our people who are still residing in those food deserts, like the inner cities, like the District of Columbia, if you're in the city like of Atlanta and you're not out in the countryside in Georgia, like the major cities, all the major inner cities, they are food deserts. And so when this thing all goes down, it's not going to be good for them if they didn't prepare. They will have no way of getting food. I see food planted everywhere when I walk outside of my compound, when I'm in my compound and I look across each way from me. There's a window here and there. I see food planted, plentiful. Don't give me that poor BS. That's a tool that you use to make people feel sorry for you. That's a manipulative tool that you use. I said it because it's true. And the truth does not require your validation. It stands, whether you like it or not, accept it or not, acknowledge it or not, it stands. And when you really get real with yourself, sisters and brothers, instead of being defensive, because I see the same stuff, it's like this mentality on the continent that you get so offended. I saw a young lady, the Renee young lady that in the Gambia, at it again, and she made some video some time ago, and she was kind of mocking our situation, like us being killed, because she was upset that the diasporans were talking about and sharing their experiences in the Gambia about being robbed, and the go-to was, don't act like it was just happening to you. Or don't act like it doesn't happen, there isn't crime where you are. Again, that's a deflective tactic. That is someone who is very immature. Those that have those types of minds, very immature. And you say you love your land and your people, but you cannot love them if you want them to stay stagnant. And the only way for progression and change to come is to usher in truth. It's for you to accept the truth, acknowledge the truth, so that change can be ushered in. But you can't go on the defensive and deflect and start pointing the finger and bringing in issues from other nations. Whatever is going on in America, I'm telling you, I know the circle of people that I hang around, we all are always talking about the bullshit that's happening in America amongst ourselves. We're not deflecting. We have a lot that shit that we need to fix as well. And we acknowledge that. We're not hiding from that. We have no problem with that. But we will also, since this continent is now our home, we also need to discuss and talk about the effery, okay, that's happening here on the continent, and it has to stop. You can't talk about that you want growth and you want progression, and then your behavior is counterproductive to that. You can't. Okay, let me see here. Consequences of corruption are high. Yes. We move into Nigeria, the last 2 kids in high school. Wonderful. Sis, I wish you well in Nigeria. Nigeria has beautiful, beautiful lands. Beautiful lands. I wish you very, very well. Make sure you take heed, just be on guard, but enjoy. Also enjoy, Africa feeds the world. We can't even use our cell phone without Africa. Hello? all the okay, all the minerals, the chips that are in the SIM card chips, all of those things, all of the metals, everything. It comes from this land. It comes from this land. You are on a script, people. They've got these vibrations, these these frequencies of, religion coming at you. They got your mind all messed up. And to keep you in a state of survival. Your body is not meant to stay in a state of survival, the fight or flight. It's very dangerous to us, light beings. It was designed to exist just for a split second, so that your body can figure out if it needs to stand and fight to protect itself or flee to protect itself. You guys are in a perpetual, constant state of survival. I see you working your fingers to the bone and breaking your backs from sun up to sundown, day after day, in the hot sun, trying to make $1. When you are the royalty of this land, and the shit hurts, but I can't hurt more for you than you hurt for yourself. I can't. But I'm also not going to support this low vibrational, this dishonest, this immoral behavior. I'm not going to support that. Not to save face. I'm not. I will never be that womb man. I'm just not that sister. I want to see you in your greatness. And you have to want that for yourself, or else I don't see progression happening here. You've got to first change the minds of the people. Then everything else will follow, because the universe is mental. The universe is mental. The reality that you all see, you created it. And I know you probably, either those who some may not understand that, but that's reality. Some may not want to accept that. That's reality. Before you point the finger outside of yourself, point it at yourself. When you do that to us, when you scheme and scam, you close our hearts. You make us not want to do business with you. And we want to do business with you. We want to unite with you. We want to be one with you. We have to. That's the way we were created, in oneness. But we will not do it if you continue to treat us this way. We won't. And anyone from the diaspora that is upset by anything that I'm saying, then you need to take a good look in the mirror and go figure out what's going on inside of you. And a lot of you all know that you have also been schemed and you have also been scammed, but you want to sweep it under the rug just to save face. A lot of people have biased reasons for keeping their mouths shut. So you're what's called lukewarm. There's a scripture that says, I'd rather you pick a side. I'd rather you be hot or cold than to be lukewarm, straddling the fence, thinking you're playing it safe, and you're not. For those of you all that don't know, the universe is a living entity. It is a brain that we live in. The sun is not this shining, feelingless object in the sky. It is a living entity, powerful entity that has manifested itself in that way. So is the earth that we live upon. It is a living entity. It is highly conscious and intelligent. Same thing with the sun. So everything is recorded. You're not getting over on anybody. So it sees you. You're all eyes on you. The Most High is omnipresent in all things. So while you're sitting there and you see your brother and sister being scammed and being schemed, and then you sit there like mum's the word. You're being watched. And you shall reap what you have sown. And there will be a time where you're going to be done dirty and you're going to want support of your brothers and sisters, and there will be none. Their mouths will also be closed. That's what it is. Somebody stole it. What's even worse is how they worship white people who have no love for them. Exactly. And the Indians, you know, but, you know, it's like I have to leave people where they are. You know, now I don't even get upset about it. Like when I first got here, that thing used to burn me up. But now, at this hour, I'm just like, listen, if you love them, go on ahead and love them. Okay? Go ahead on and love them. If Africa can become one, oh Lord, what a powerful country or continent it would be. Absolutely. A nation. And that's what they don't want. Because we are the majority. So do not ever call yourself a minority. It is a lie. You are not a minor. Think of your children when they're minors. They need adult supervision. So that is what you are saying when you call yourself who is the majority, who is like the sand of the sea, okay, who has been scattered to the four corners of the earth. When you call yourself a minor, you're saying that you need supervision. You are like a child. You're not the minor. You're in the indigenous inhabitants of this earth. And you weren't always in this form. You have to understand that. This is just the form that you are in right now. You were not always encased in matter. You were not. You were first, before this, you were in the etheric. You were in the etheric being. You are a light body, a solar being. Your melanin is carbon, it's dark matter. How do you charge carbon? With heat. Heat from what? The sun. Because there's healing and power and light codes in those rays. It's all about light. That's who you truly are. Okay, so what's even worse? Okay, I got that one. It kills me that they are even bleaching. Yeah. That the whole, I mean, again, the mind has been colonized. The minds have been severely colonized. And so I empathize, I sympathize. But again, I can't be more hurt than you are about your low estate and your condition. And then you definitely don't help me to be empathetic and sympathetic when you continue to try to scheme and scam me, someone who has a heart to do right by you always, because I see you as myself. That's when you know your heart chakra is open. I see you as myself. So I'm not going to do you wrong, because doing you wrong is like doing myself wrong. That's where we have to get to. That's the oneness. That's the divine oneness. And that's how we got to where we are now, because the consciousness has been fragmented. Division has been our kryptonite. Division has been our kryptonite. So brothers and sisters on this continent, in Tanzania, wherever you are, you've got to stop this behavior, because it's going to cost you. It is going to cost you. Stop scheming and scamming. Period. I see you do it to one another. And stop doing it to your brothers and sisters from the diaspora that are coming here with open arms and open hearts and open minds to help you up out of your low estate. And we still have a lot of helping up that we got to do for ourselves too, but we can do it together. That's if you want to. But if you continue to do somebody wrong, you're going to push them away to a point where they won't want to come back and deal with you. That's what it is. TNT, Mike and Jazz, habari za leo, karibu sana. I'm well. I hope you guys are so well. That's right. Tesla wouldn't have a company without Africa. Listen, Africa is not the lie. The lie is that Africa is a third world country. Word on the street is that Africa is first world. Okay? That's the truth. It's first world. And everyone else that Africa feeds and provides with natural resources and minerals, they're the third world. Yeah. That's the truth. Let me see. Lord, not country. That's okay. I know what you meant, sis. Let me see. You speak in facts. Yes. Facts, sis. Can't play both sides. Yes. Since you are lukewarm, I will spew. Yes. Thank you, Halisi. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Since you are lukewarm, I will spew you from my mouth. The Most High, the universe, they don't like lukewarm people. So all you diasporans out there who keeping your mouth shut or who are trying to justify this scheme and scamming behavior, Most High said, I will spew you out of my mouth. Why you think you playing it safe? You not, boo. You're not. Shaming people for telling the truth. That's how we usher in change. So all of you all who said you wanted to come to the continent and you wanted to lift it up and you wanted to help it and progress and grow, that's a bunch of crock. If you're sitting up here justifying this, if you're keeping your mouth shut about this behavior, if you're not correcting your sisters and brothers, it's a lie. Flat out lie. You want to keep them stagnant. So you're actually behaving in the role of an enemy while you're trying to demonize those like No Limit Eddie and people like myself who stand for truth because you want to save face. We are the ones that are really loving the continent because we want to see it do better. We want the people to be better. And they cannot be better and in a better position and situation if the lies, if the scheming, if the scamming, if all of that immoral behavior persists. It cannot. So you want us to accept it and coexist in it? No, you're here for a purpose. You're here to do a job. You're in a brain. So you're here, your light is here to do a job. And that, sisters and brothers, actually something just came with that. Like that's how you can tell the fruits of people. To see what role are they playing, because we all have a role. And not everybody is really here to see Africa do better. While they may say it, just look at their fruits. Look at their behavior. It will tell you where their mind is. It will tell you about their state of mind. It will tell you about their intentions. Just look at their behavior. It's like seeing a baby play by the road, and you know that there's cars coming up and down that road, and you just sit there and watch the child play by the road without giving them any type of warning or correction to move away from the road. That is what you all are doing when you sit in the sideline with your mouths closed while your sisters and brothers are having money stolen from them, are being schemed, and are being scammed. And then I had some people say, oh, well, you all were trying to get over on the system, and so don't be mad. Who was trying to get over on what? I know myself and many others really wanted to learn Kiswahili correctly, really wanted to. There was no one trying to get over. It was just a double benefit. Hey, I can learn Kiswahili and stay. Let me do both, because we all know it's a necessity. You have to know Kiswahili. Your life will be a lot better here. So that's not true. Let me see here. I went to Tanzania last year, spitting knowledge for the mind elevation. Welcome. I went to Tanzania last year, and the scamming that goes on there is through the roof. Listen, even the locals know it. Our sisters and brothers talk about it. They complain to me all the time. I've had in-depth conversations with the sisters and brothers here, and they talk about it all the time. They say, sister, this is why Tanzania will always be behind. They say it will always be too corruption. Corruption. They know it exists. And it's become such an acceptable way of life. It's like, and there has been no rod of correction that they've just, they don't really see any wrong in it, or they don't see a reason to divert from that type of behavior. They don't, because it's so widely acceptable, and no one is correcting it, and no one is speaking about it. They're far few and in between. We need to do better, and the time is now. The shift is now. What's up, No Limit Shay? Hey, sis. Absolutely. Thank you for speaking up on this matter. We need more voices like yours. Indeed. Indeed. Likewise, like you and Brother Eddie. The truth shall reign, period. This is the time of the truth. If you're aligning yourself with the old age energy of Pisces, which is deception and confusion, you're going to be one of the ones left right here in this deceptive and confusing reality. You're going to be left right here. You are, because you love it. You can tell the tree by the type of fruit it bears. Yes, facts. TNT with Mike and Jazz. I find it funny, if the diaspora was scamming Tanzanians, there would be an uproar because they stick together. Absolutely. And actually, hold on now. If I recall correctly, there was an uproar. I mean, we're now like so spread out on the continent. There was some scamming and there was some scheming. Okay. Going on, but it was in conjunction. It was like the diasporans were also scamming and scheming other diasporans, or they were joining in with local brothers and sisters and teaming up on the scamming. Like, if you're on this continent, whether you were born on this continent or you now reside on this continent, and you are involving yourself in this type of immoral, low vibrational behavior, we talking to you. This is not just for the continental born brothers and sisters. We're talking to you. Yeah. You're not excluded at all. At all. It's time to stop making excuses. It is time to stop making excuses. You are in your lowest state because you have created this reality. I'm talking continental born, and I'm talking others that were not born on the continent, but you are also indulging in this type of behavior. You're creating your reality. You. So that's it, you guys. Like, I'm gonna be doing a in-depth teaching again about how this government is set up, who is behind this government, because you need to know. Okay. I'm also going to be doing a teaching on, because a lot of people are saying, well, what do you mean, like as above, so below, inside out? What do you mean? What do you mean when you say I'm a mini universe? I don't understand. Well, you have energy centers in your body, and they are called chakras. There are also energy centers in this earth, and there are also chakras. Each one of your chakras is also a planet. That is your chakra system. That is your Jacob's ladder. That is the ladder that you have to climb so that you will become the God that you are, that scripture clearly says that you are. I have said that ye are gods. There's another one that of ancient writings that says where the Christ was saying, KRST. These are energies that were given names, and stories were told in allegory. That is how our ancestors kept the ancient knowledge, the secret knowledge. They gave these energy centers names, and they put stories behind them so that we could remember them. That's it. These scriptures did not come about 2,000 years ago. They've been here since the beginning. There is nothing new under the sun. And so you have to ask yourself, since the biblios that you have now, whether it's the KJV, whatever it is, if it came about 2,000, 3,000 years ago, and you know we are ancient and we've been here, it's been proven for millions at least of years, then what were we going by? Like, what was our culture? What was our spiritual system prior to that? I mean, this is like common sense. So, yeah. So I'll be doing a teaching on that, so that this is how I'm giving you some stuff. You want your power? You want to know? I've had people say, oh, well, we don't have any powers. You saying we the superheroes with that? We don't have. Yes, you do. You just haven't awakened them, but they're in you. And I'm going to teach you how. I'm going to teach you how. I'm going to teach you how you can reawaken the power that is within you by climbing Jacob's ladder and using your chakra system. Okay? I'm going to show you how you escape this false reality. This is an illusion. Watch The Matrix again. It's very important that you understand, overstand, and understand the movie The Matrix. Is one of the best gifts that has been given to us to awaken us. Watch The Matrix again. Very important. Okay, so I'll be doing that. So let me read the last comments. If anybody has any questions really quickly before I get off, please feel free to ask them. Let me see. TMKR, Mike and Jess and John, Tanzanians never said that the diaspora is scamming there. It is the diaspora themselves making videos saying they have been scammed by other diasporans. Well, whatever. And who's to say that Tanzanians haven't said that that, you know, they haven't been scammed by us. They may have, but if they haven't, that's fine. But those of us from the diaspora that are speaking out about it, it's actually happening. It's actually happening. And we're making videos not because we're wanting to hurt and not because we're wanting to tarnish. It's because we want the behavior to stop, because it is holding us back as a nation. It's actually because we love them. It's actually because we want to see them do better. So that's why we're making these. It's not to, it's not for, definitely ain't for views. It's not for entertainment, because ain't nothing funny about this behavior. Nothing. Ain't nothing funny about it. And again, if it's our people that have been engaging in it too, you need to stop the diaspora, because we're all one. So again, this is not specifically directed towards the continental born brothers and sisters, but I'm speaking about the experiences that I've had with continental brothers and sisters here. And it's just been too frequent that I've been scammed or attempted to be scammed. Corruption, had so much money stolen. I mean, you've got the $1,000 from the school. You got 600,000 shillings that was stolen from me. You've got the scam at the movies. They want to, you know, upcharge at the movies and take money there. You've got the post office incident that's just now. I can go on and on and on. There's been so many. And I'm a soul that has a heart for my people. I love them so much. I really have just a pure heart towards wanting to help. And I won't even mention the things that I've done. I won't. So it hurts a soul like me who has really come here with a genuine heart to help. And you look at me and you want to scam me? And any other brother and sister here, we are you and you are us. Let's all do better. Let's do better. When you see me, I want you to see yourself. I want you to eradicate the lies that you have been taught by colonization that says that I'm totally different from you. Of course, we have our differences, but spiritually, we are one. So I want you to look at me as yourself. And if you don't have enough self-esteem about yourself where you would want to even do right by yourself, there has to be someone that you love, whether it's your mother, whether it's your brother, whomever, that you would never want to see done wrong. Then see them in me. I want to see the best of you. And I'm always going to show you and give you the best of me when I'm able, when it is warranted. It's just like my son. I correct him because I love him. If I didn't love him, I wouldn't discipline him. But I love him, so I do. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. All right, let me see. Yeah. Okay. TMKR, we know it's happening. Okay. You're right. It has that petty scamming has to stop. It does. It really does. It's holding us back. And just like the brother said, like I'm pinning that to the top. What Eddie, like brother, you are wise. And the Most High is using you. Okay? You are wise. And don't, you know, as long as you're speaking the truth and you're coming from a pure heart, don't matter. It don't matter when you're veering off. You'll be put back in the right frequency. But you are speaking the truth. You are speaking the truth, and it needs to be told. I'm gonna pin your comment because it's profound. When you said they think that they are poor, that's the lie that they have been told. They're chasing this fake money, but they already have the wealth and the riches in the land, in the animals, in the family. They have everything that they need. That's profound. I'm going to pin that to the top. So yes, family. So with that being said, let me read the last little bit ones. No limit Shay. Some are just a wolf in sheep's clothing. They claim they are for the diaspora, yes, but won't ever speak on any issues, only paint a positive picture of Tanzania. If people would just be honest and speak on these issues, it could have saved there it is, so many others from the scam. So if you are, as I'm leaving, like these gems in the comment section are being dropped, okay? Yes, no limit Shay. That's a part of being your brother and your sister's keeper. You cannot say that you are your brother's and your sister's keeper if you will stand by and watch someone hurt them, someone mistreat them, someone scam them, someone scheme against them, someone steal from them. You are not your brother's keeper. I wouldn't want you to be mine. You're my enemy. And truth be told, if you're not saying anything about it, if you're not talking about your experiences, it's okay, because you may not know what someone else is talking about specifically. However, I know you've had your own experiences and you're not even talking about those, which are similar to the other person's experience. It's just situational differences, but the behavior is still the same. You were scammed, you were schemed, something was stolen from you. The same. So you can't say that you're your brother and your sister's keeper and you stand by and you watch this happen to them and you don't say anything, or it happens to you and you don't say anything about it. Let's say you know that there's a plot going on somewhere on the continent, wherever you live, and you know that they're waiting on diasporans to come off so that they can do whatever to them. You know, you have firsthand knowledge because you're on the ground, your boots on the ground, and you don't say anything to warn them. You're just as much as at fault. That's like if I'm with somebody who's robbing somebody, like I'm supposed to say, well, you know, I ain't had nothing to do with that. Like I saw him being robbed, but you know, I mean, what can I do? You can lift up your voice trumpet, you know, and say what the hell happened and what's going on. That's the same stuff that we deal with in America when murders happen and no one wants to say anything. Your loved one was murdered. It could be the family member, like a cousin who knows something that happened to his own cousin, and he won't say anything because he or she is more loyal to the streets than they are their own blood. This is the dysfunction. So it happens on the other side too. We'll tell our dirt too, because we're not perfect, you guys. We have our own shit, like I said, that we have to fix too. Within the diaspora, the so-called African Americans. We have our own stuff that we have to deal with. We're not going to hide from it, and we shouldn't be hiding from it, and we don't want to deflect from it. We want it all out in the open on the table so that we can deal with it bit by bit, piece by piece. We're not hiding from it. We want to heal. We're tired of being sick. It's the same thing. And I talked about that, was on the front line in America, talking about the BS that was happening in real life. Raising up my throat chakra. The killing of one another. The divisiveness, us like believing that fantasy that of you know, that individualism, that's killing us. So let's do better, family. Stop doing us like that. And I want to ask my brothers and I want to ask the diaspora to also make sure that when we're interacting with our brothers and sisters, that we are being respectful, that we are being cordial to one another, and even balanced exchange. But know that I correct you because I love you, not because I hate you. It's because I love you. And I want you to be your absolute best. I want you to be what you were created to be. Please stop it. We don't have time for it. Please stop. All right. If no one has any questions, I'm going to go ahead and end it. Until next time, you guys be good. Love you all. Peace, love, and light.